So there's a lot of stuff going on with the Jaguars right now, obviously with a new head coach, EVP Tony Baselli, and now the Jaguars are in the middle of a GM search. This is kind of what everybody out there is talking about right now. But while all you guys can go out there and talk about that, I've got to talk about whether or not the Jaguars will have new uniforms in 2025. And most specifically, will we go back to the best uniforms in franchise history, the Prowler uniforms? Let's get it. So I want to give a big shout out to this video's sponsor, BetUS. And did you guys know that BetUS actually has a casino? And for all my followers who like live slot games or live table games like poker, blackjack, all that stuff, BetUS has an amazing promo for you guys, a 200% sign up bonus up to $5,000 and also 250% sign up using crypto. So shout out to BetUS. Thank you for offering this a promo for my followers and for everybody in general. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about these Jags uniforms. So Jaguars are a very unique organization where we have very unique colors. I can't think of another professional team or even college team for that matter that has the type of color palette that the Jaguars have. Teal, black, and gold. Really an elite combination of something where you can really do a lot with the Jaguars' primary color being teal. So the Jaguars have gone through quite the uniform transition, and the Jaguars really got it right the very first time, right? From 1995 through 2008, the Jaguars basically wore these, the Prowler uniforms with, the black and gold number outlines, the gold and black sleeves, and the Jaguars' old Prowler on the side with the stripes down along the pants. It was honestly not only a classic look, but just the best look that the Jaguars have had. And this has been kind of something that a lot of people notice in the NFL. Whenever throwbacks are worn, they are always better than the current ones, right? I mean, you see it with the Seattle Seahawks, you see it with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Houston or Tennessee Oilers, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of teams, when they wear the throwbacks, it's like, wow, these are so much better than the current ones. So they really seem to have gotten it right back in the 90s. And then the Jaguars from 2009 to 2012 transitioned to a more basic look, with the highlight being that when you actually shined a light on the helmet, it actually had a teal reflection, which was kind of cool. And then Shad Khan, in his second year of ownership, decided that he wanted to rebrand everything, right? New coach, new GM. It came with new uniforms, and he also introduced the new logo, which is seen right behind me, which I actually kind of like. I don't think they got it wrong on this one. They got a new logo that's a little bit more updated, a little bit different looking, introduces two different shades of gold. So, that was fine, but it still has the same Jaguar look that, they've always had. So that's what they have now. And the uniforms were a little bit crazy. I mean, the two-tone, the helmets were definitely an interesting choice, and it also just featured a bunch of different colors all over the place. They utilized, all the different black, teal, gold, white, everything on these uniforms, and there was honestly a lot going on with them. So they wore those from 2013 to 2017, and when Tom Coughlin was EVP, I think he felt the uniforms were a little bit loud. So the Jaguars transitioned into the uniforms that the Jaguars have now, where it's essentially Microsoft Paint. I mean, there's nothing going on with these uniforms, just a flat color, no number outlines, no stripes down the pants or anything, just a very, very boring look. And at first, I wasn't mad at it because I wasn't a huge fan of the uniforms from 2013 to 2017. I just thought they were too loud. I did not like the two-tone helmets, but now that these uniforms have sat around for a little bit, I've grown to hate them. I've grown to absolutely hate them, and I think the thing I hate the most is the away uniforms. The away uniforms have no personality. When the Jaguars have an away game and they do the uniform unveil, what uniforms are they wearing this week? There's not a whole lot you can do with these uniforms and make them look good. I mean, you have white on white, white on black, white on teal, and even the teal, white on teal looks extremely forced because there's absolutely no teal in the actual uniforms. And the Jaguars wear white most of the year because when they play home games in September, it's very hot, so they elect to wear white to kind of have somewhat of a home field advantage. So yeah, the Jaguars wear the whites, and obviously when they're playing away games, they're wearing white as well. It's not a good look at all. It's not a good look, and I honestly hate it. So I think this was a big year because the Jaguars actually used the Prowler uniforms in 2024, and they were a huge hit. Everybody liked them, and I wasn't someone that was surprised that everyone would like them. I just really wanted to wear the Prowler uniforms, not only to see them, but so Shad Khan could actually see the reception that these uniforms got from the Jaguars fan base. And it was crazy. All the Jaguar fans loved it. They sold what I'm wearing now, like they sold these on the market, and they were a huge hit. And not only did the Jaguar fans love it, but just every NFL fan just thinks they're so much better than the current ones. That's definitely not a hot take. They just flat out are. So, and then when you put the uniforms side by side, like the Prowlers versus the current ones, it's just no competition. There's no debate. It's just so much better. So one interesting thing that I saw on the Jaguars YouTube channel was on Liam Cohen's. It's like a video called Coach Cohen's First Duval. It was like a 30-minute live stream. They actually asked Liam Cohen, "Hey, which one is your favorite uniform, the current ones or the Prowlers?" And this is what he had to say.
Do you like the current jerseys or the Prowler throwbacks better? Whoa.
All I remember growing up watching was 71 and Mark Brunell letting it rip. I gotta go with the throwback, man. Gotta go.
So with that said, is this a year where the Jaguars could finally transition? Now, one thing I really like about what seems like with who's currently in the front office, they're gonna have a lot better sense of the fan base because last year I could come up with the argument that Shad Khan and Trent Baalke, the two people kind of leading this organization, had no pulse of the fan base and quite frankly did not care about what the fan base thought. Now, when you actually look at it, Tony Baselli is the EVP. He has a great sense of the fan base, as you guys know, and Coach Cohen, I think, will too. And now we've actually seen them asked, which one do you like more? And they went out and said, yeah, we like the Prowlers more. So what could actually be stopping the Jaguars from doing it? Now, a lot of the fan base is speculating that the Jaguars won't change uniforms until 2028 when a new stadium is revealed. And I say no. Do not. It'd be different if the new stadium will be done in 2026. Then I'd be down to wait a year, but there's no way I can wait 3 more entire football seasons. 51 regular season football games of us wearing our Microsoft Paint uniforms. There's absolutely no way I can wait for that. The Jaguars need to make change, and they need to make change ASAP. And hey, what better year than now? I mean, I know there's not a new stadium, but the Jaguars, for the first time since changing both the logo and the uniforms, the Jaguars actually cleaned house. New GM, new head coach. We have obviously, an executive vice president of football operations in place. The Jaguars have a lot of new in place. Why not go out there and go with maybe not the throwbacks, but a revised version of these, right? I know if the Jaguars do go back to throwbacks, they're gonna have to do something with the long Jaguar because the Jaguars don't currently have a logo like that. I'd be down with the same exact way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it. The Buccaneers did a uniform change. I forget what year. Maybe it was 2013. No, I think it was 2015 or 2016 when Jameis Winston was brought in. They went with they changed the logo, changed the uniforms. The uniforms are crap. Then they went back to the old logos, but kept kind of the new revised logo. I think the Jaguars can easily do the same thing. Now, will they come out with a modernized version of the Prowler, or will they just get rid of the long Jaguar in general? Maybe. But no matter what they do, I think they need to go back to a revised version of the throwbacks because they're some of the best uniforms in sports. Not in the NFL, but in sports. They are great looking, and then you can actually have, because we've seen these uniforms, but we haven't seen the Jaguars go throwbacks with the white uniforms, the away uniforms, and the Jaguars can even introduce the black uniforms when Jack Del Rio used to go on Monday Night Football decked out in a full suit, and the Jaguars would wear their black on blacks just ready to punch somebody in the mouth, right? So I'm really hoping that this happens. I don't have any sources within the building or anything, but we all hear that, we all heard that Liam Cohen and Tony Baselli both like the old uniform. So it's definitely something to look out for. I don't know when something like this would become official or anything, or when something like this would be announced, but something needs to happen behind the scenes to make this happen because I can't watch us play with our current uniforms anymore. And also the Jaguars have just been completely crap in uniforms, right? So we'll just have to see. But with that said, appreciate all you guys so much for watching. Please do me a favor on your way out and drop a like. Also, shout out to BetUS for powering this video. And go Jags.